These models get a sprinkle of my style. I'm about to lock down. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. I feel like a boss right now. Talk to the man right now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my...
Get out of my way. It's a coach. You're immersed in the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, bruising runner Leonard Fournette, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And they had it easy last week. They jumped out to an early lead and then put it on cruise control from there.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Here we go.
On first down, Browning. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. North of 100 yards, the two scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hall. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Facing a fourth down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion. They go play action here on first down. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it pops collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It is tough to complete passes. against zone defenses, the windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Buying time to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Foreman in last week's contest. 15 carries, 51 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
I mean, you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Now, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. Only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney!
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Leopard!
Looking to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Charles, there's something special about one of those big D linemen bringing it in. Off the tip there, really nice coordination.
Very much so, and I think what we've seen, and I'm going to put it in about the last 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, coaches placing a bigger emphasis on ball drills, even for defensive linemen, because possession is so key. When you got a chance to take one away, you want people comfortable with the football, and it paid off there. And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Right back to him on 1st down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Brownham, and that is incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all year? Not the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A nice gain of 21 yards. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. Back to throw now on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Let's go. 1-9.
Throwing on 1st down. Brownham, and his pass incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 15. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And take it right on the 30. Oh, he will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. The pitch to Fournette. And he'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. Back to throw here. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Leonard Williams. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Sutton. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. They'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll set up to throw, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jonathan Allen in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on the running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Now they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
Escaping the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Darius Slay with a pick. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback... outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And now look at this, big gain but a fumble, and this belongs to the Vikings. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. They'll look to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Quick hitter here is complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. They'll toss it to Fournette. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. He'll drop to throw. The quick slant caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
On 1st and 10, Browning. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Let's go.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis. After this, a reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. To throw on 2nd down. Browning. And his throw is incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Vikings send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. This is brought in at the 21. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Dancing to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on fourth down to bring up first and goal. They'll look to throw again. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Eluding the pressure right. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's third and goal. He'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defense, Huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Well, this is a new concept. It's third down, but they've got the punt unit on. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Here we go. Brand 38.
The final shot before break. Browning. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Final shot before break. Browning. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that they're drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game, fourth of the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game. And there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside. Probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Here's Foreman. Looking for a crease. Can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Back to throw. Browning. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Taken in at the 22. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. A toss running left, Fournette. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now back to throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st. They're going to look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Gun!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throw left side, complete. That's Sutton. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
All right, now
It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. They'll set up a throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Back to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on fourth down to bring up first and goal. Flush to his right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. Back to throw again. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. The quick slant caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, you know, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
They run again with Foreman. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. On third down, Browning. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And that will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Vikings. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road to be fairly clear.
That is
By the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
They give him a gain of 38. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. His throw incomplete.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Vikings on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 16. Looking to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Everyone's got 4 down.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 38. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, not much there that time. And I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
On play action, they'll throw. Fighting to stay up, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Detroit!
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's complete to Grant. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. His throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Back to throw here. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
4 down, check.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And that is incomplete here. Allen, the intended receiver, and now it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On the crossing route, complete. That's Hall. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. They'll set up to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
On first down, Brown. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. They'll drop to throw. He'll check this one off to Fournette. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Fournette. Stays on his feet, and he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. He'll drop to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. He'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now back to throw. They'll roll him out right. And this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Off the play fake. Browning. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 33. Try to get it to Woods. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. A big play there for Minnesota. 43 yards. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Let's go. What? 90.
Looking to throw on second down. Browning. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Now, you've been around me a long time now. You know on second and inches, I love it when teams are aggressive and take a shot, but we just saw the downside to being that aggressive, didn't we?
Now you've given up on a pretty likely first down if they had run the football, and they need to come up with something here on third. Looking to throw. Browning. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them.
And nothing but daylight ahead. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This
but
is one of
she's
our guys.
singing, too.
No, she's singing.
She's on, like, the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90. Mike Wood.
Throwing on first down. Browning throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So, Charles, are able